Hello, I'm Mystic Cassandria. This is Alpha Wisdom, and this is video 158. We're talking about the careers that are connected to the elements of the hand. In the previous lesson, we talked about the fire hand and the earth hand. In this lesson, we will complete our discussion on this with the air hand and the water hand. Okay. Now follow along with this. Here we have the characteristics of the air hand. If you're looking at an air hand, you're looking at a square palm, but less padded than the earth hand, because the earth hand has a feeling of being a little thick or a little padded there. Long fingers now, usually held apart. Usually, that doesn't mean everyone with an air hand will hold their fingers apart. Strong, clear lines they have in their palm. So let's check the personality, motivations, and characteristics in relationships. They are expressive. They are curious, a little witty, sociable they are, and they're versatile, meaning they can do several things, and they can be high-strung. Okay? So these are generally very good. All right, let's go on to the next one. We're talking about the water hand. The palm will be rectangular. Compare that with the square palm in the air hand. Okay? So we have a rectangular palm, long fingers, yes, usually held together. And usually held together with this one, with the air hand. So you have to look for more characteristics when you have something that's the same on two different types. Okay. Many fine lines, sometimes they're referred to as spidery lines, or the lines may be so fine they almost faint, just barely see them. You really need a magnifying glass. And the fingertips are pointed. Okay. And usually when we have pointed fingertips, we're looking at the palms of people who are intuitive, very intuitive. Well, we all are, but some may be a little more so. Okay? All right, let's check the personality, motivations, and characteristics in relationships for the water hand. They are sensitive, artistic, emotional, receptive, caring, moody, dependent. Okay, these are the main characteristics of the water hand. Now let's take a look and see if we can recognize water hands and air hands. I'm going to let that stay there as a guide for you. Okay, now this is an air hand, square palm, but look at those long fingers. You can easily recognize an air hand and a water hand, if not just by the fingers. Okay, let's take a look at another one. And I have to point this out because we recently talked about, you see this line going straight across? Well, one might think, oh, that's a simian line. But if you look closely, here's your headline. And here's your headline. Okay, but it's a humanitarian, this person, whoever it is. Okay, let's take a look at another air hand. Okay. Long fingers for sure. All right, let's take a look at another one. This is an air hand. You can spot them anywhere. Those hands are really long. And some of them may be longer than others. This is a very long middle finger or Saturn finger. And this Jupiter, it's amazing. Yeah, interesting. And let's take, that takes care of the air hands. Now, let's look at the water. Remember the water over here? Characteristics here: long fingers, rectangular palm. This is a long palm. I think that's very clear on you. I hope it is. And the long fingers, without a doubt. Okay, let's see what's going on the next one. This is a water hand, long palm. And here is, again, very long fingers. And let's take our last one. Water hand again. Look at the long palm. Long fingers. And yeah, well, that takes care of that. Now we're going to go further and find out what else is going on. So we're looking now at what kind of career would the air hand be interested in or involved with, and also the water. All right, air: computing, design, journalism, writing, media, teaching, politics. And overall, that says, I've got to be in front of the public. I've got to get some notoriety. And you can just look below that ring fingers, probably an Apollo line. Let's see what it says for the water hand. Excuse me. Therapy, they would be good in that. Social work, medical work, nursing, could be doctors too. Fashion, and that also takes in fashion and design, okay? Counseling, where they can talk to others and listen. So they may have a healing line, medical stigmata, there may be there. Okay, art, acting, and the psychic arts. Yeah. So these are the jobs, or the kind of job that these two elemental signs, air and water, would gravitate to. Okay, now finally, the shape of the hand gives us strong indications as to what motivates us, what acts as an incentive, and where our enthusiasm lies. It is the first chapter of our life story, the introduction that reveals our basic temperament and desires. In this way, we can understand the essence of the person. Are they driven by financial reward, emotional needs, or intellectual pursuits motivate them? Most hands are not pure elemental types. This makes classification tricky. So if you have a hand and you're looking for the fundamental characteristics that makes it what it is, you don't see it there. So what do? Well, it is suggested that it is wise not to get caught up with trying to fit everything neatly into a category. Understanding the four elements as key personality types will be a good foundation for understanding the character. And that's what we're doing today, this week. But when hands don't fit easily into the four types, don't rely heavily on the meaning of hand shapes. In hand analysis, we always focus on what stands out and what's different from the norm. I've always told you when we were beginning to read palms, how to do it, how to get started. Points of interest. What seems to stand out and pull your attention in? That's what you focus on. You may not get to the hand shape, but that tells you a whole lot, as much or maybe more than the hand shape does. Okay, So ends our lesson for today. Hopefully you understood. Then give a thumbs up, share, and of course subscribe. Well, thanks again for watching. Be safe. And one day I won't have to say that, but be safe and be happy. All right.